We're gonna go ahead and one more again.
Going for the big shot. Can you make it or not? Going ham with Superman. You too glad, man.
Okay, so this week I got to shoot the Smith and Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. The reason I chose to shoot a 380 caliber because I know a lot of people don't really like the carry, and a lot of people don't like the round. It's kind of expensive. All these excuses, or whatever, not to shoot that gun. But I shot it because I have the 1.0. I got the Smith and Wesson Bodyguard 1.0. Mine got the Crimson Trace laser built into it. This is actually a replacement gun. I had one that was all black. Got stolen probably about like 7 years ago. So I got this one to replace it, FDE. So if I would just happen to be one of those lucky people that ever got one of their stolen guns back, I would be able to tell just on sight which one was the stolen one and which one was the replacement one. Without having to look at serial numbers and all that. So I didn't want to get the identical gun and replace it. So I got it in FDE. So the reason I don't really carry this gun a lot, I carry it in different situations. So you got to think about your situation for your carries. But this is super concealable. It's super light. Sometimes I forget I have it on me when I do carry it. I know I'm never unarmed, but I get sometimes I'm like, I get a little nervous thinking I left it at home or something like that. But I'm like, no, I got it on me. But it's super light. It can fit in your pocket. It really can fit in the palm of my hand. It's super tiny, and it's just something. It's better than nothing, I would say. So yeah, I don't carry it a lot now, but I got it just because it's easy to conceal, and at the time, that's what I was looking for. So I've had a bodyguard for probably like 8 or 9 years, but I had this one in particular like 7 years since it was a replacement. But with it being so tiny, there are some drawbacks. So one is being the grip on it. So I got a 10-round mag to kind of help with that. So I got the 10-round mag, so it helps with as far as fitting my hand a little better and gripping, versus the 6-rounder that came with it. Just like it's got a little flare there, so you kind of grip under it a little bit there. But yeah, this is a 6-rounder that comes with it. I had to order the 10-round separate, and that's another drawback because it's a single stack mag to fit this slim frame here. So mag capacity is going to be another issue with it. Then, like I said, some people don't like the 380 round, but by comparison, this is a 9mm, it's a RIP round, and then this is a hollow point 380. The round itself, if you line the casings up, the round itself isn't far off from a 9 round. It's just the stopping power behind it. But then you look at the casings, and that 9 casing right here is going to be a little bit bigger. Kind of like the difference between a 223, a 300 blackout, and a 7.62 by 39, an AK round. The casing is similar on the 5.56 and the 300 blackout. That's how they're able to use the same mags. And you can clearly tell that casing on the AK is bigger, it's wider than both, and that round is definitely bigger than that 223. But that 300 blackout round is identical to that AK round. So this is where like ballistics come in, because you got a same size round here with a casing that's more similar to this. So this one's gonna beat out everything. It's got a bigger casing and a bigger round. It's got a bigger round and actually a wider casing than the 5.56, and then this one's got the smaller round and taller casing, but I'm gonna say as far as like actual primer and gunpowder and all that, it's gonna be kind of equal to the 300 blackout as far as stopping power and force. Um, but when you got the same, they're all deadly. but when you got this is moving at like 2,000 feet per second. This is moving at 2,000 feet per second, but it's a large round, so it's gonna do more damage. This is moving at like 2,300 feet per second because it's got even more, and it's that large round. So this is where ballistics and very technical stuff get in the hand that I don't claim to be an expert in, but just basic knowledge, I would say. But that brings us back to the 380. So a lot of people don't like it, but it's a decent enough round for defense, for self defense, and that's one thing with shooting both of these. I shot them both back to back to give them a comparison. Um, the trigger pull on, we're empty and clear. The trigger pull on the original bodyguard, if anybody knows, this thing is long, as long as all day. And then it's like a little hesitation almost sometimes because you got to pull it all the way back, and then the hammer kind of hesitates. It's kind of really made for, this is a get off me gun, I call it. So like I said, the situations I carry for is nothing. I don't feel like I'm going into a very dangerous situation. I take this just because it's better than having nothing. And it's a get off me situation where I'm going to get empty and clear. If I do get into a situation where I need to defend myself, it's a get off me and I'm retreating to safety situation. It's not even maybe to even necessarily stop the threat, but to just deter the threat long enough that I can retreat to safety and possibly get to to the rest of the collection or something. I don't know. But yeah, this is what I call a get off me gun. You're gonna pull out. You're really not gonna get on sights because the sights are like a horrible, or these are horrible sights. I don't want to muzzle myself. I hate muzzling myself. But yeah, it's just pure irons. That's one reason the crimson trace is on there, which this laser is not sighted in right. It is completely off. But that's one reason for it. So you can just, you're not really trying to get on sights with something like this. You just, if you got time to punch that laser, and if it's sighted in right and you trust it, you can just boom, 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 get off. This is gonna be more close range, probably about 3 or 5 yards. And so I shot like 7 yards out originally, and even with both of them, the groupers were way off. But we got in a little closer at 3 yards, got a little better. So was updated on the 2.0. The trigger most definitely is upgraded. It's a flat face trigger safety, which now I think about it, that gun is actually more safe because this does have a physical safety. There is an option that doesn't have it, but it's got the physical safety there, but it doesn't have a trigger safety. The 2.0 has the same, it's pretty much the same slide setup as far as takedowns and the safety, but the safety is actually ambidextrous on that too. It's on both sides, so you can activate the safety ambidextrously. And then it's got a trigger safety as well. This one does not have a trigger safety. It's got a super long trigger pull is what it's got. And with that, the 2.0 with its trigger safety is striker fire versus being this hammer fire. That's there. Then it's got a fiber optic front sight, which that sight is really good. Yeah, for it to be that small and that tiny, it is easy to acquire. The reset on the gun, like the recoil management, because it's so tiny, it's like just barely fitting in your hand. It does take a minute to get back on target with that sight. And with the size of that gun, you're never gonna put a red dot on it or anything like that. The 2.0, as far as I know, doesn't have a laser option yet. I'm pretty sure they'll be coming with it. And I thought, being that I think a couple of those issues were addressed. It's not single stacked anymore. It's a double stack mag. It's a 12 round mag. It's hard to load initially. You got to break that mag in. But it's a 12 round mag versus a 6 round mag is what it comes with. It's the handle on it is a lot better as far as grip wise, because I think this one too, like the trigger guard to house that large long trigger, makes the grip so much shorter. And I think that was something they took care of in the 2.0. But I still like my little bodyguard, my little get off me gun. I would just I haven't done anything to it. I could swap the front sight for a fiber optic. I possibly could put that new trigger in here. I have to look at the setup and see if I can put a 2.0 trigger in my original bodyguard, and I would be just fine with that. Or hey, who knows? I might just go ahead and get it. Just exchange it. Probably if I trade this one in, it'll probably take a couple $100 off, because they're still selling these for about 330, 280, that range. So they'll probably give me maybe 150 on it, and I do need to look up the the price point for the 2.0. I throw it up here, like right over here or something. But yeah, so I like what Smith and Wesson did with the bodyguard. I bought my bodyguard years ago and haven't had any problems with it. As far as firing or anything like that, haven't been in a situation where I had to get off me. But yeah, it's a good gun for its purpose. It is made for concealment and just for your protection. So I don't have anything just too bad to say. Like I would still, like I said, this one's still better than nothing. But if you are looking for one, the 2.0 is going to be the one that you want to get. It's going to have everything that you're looking for in a modern concealable defense weapon, as I say. Yeah, so because like this, the trigger pull I found to be better, rather than trying to be perfect with the tip of your finger and the smooth trigger pull, because it doesn't like it. It doesn't like the smooth trigger pull. It wants you to slap it. It wants you to just slap that trigger. This is one of those weird ones that, like, it works better to just slap it, and it's more of a squeeze than a pull. That pull just got a delay. There we go. But you slap that thing, and you good. So yeah, so that's one thing you gotta know. You gotta know your weapon strength with them. So I know if I'm carrying this, it's a low threat situation. Do some threat assessments. If you got multiple carry options and different clothes, like I can wear gym shorts with this. And that was another thing too. I was concerned about the weight factor with it being double stack, more man's slightly bigger frame. It still weighs about the same. I didn't feel a big weight difference, so yeah, that's not an issue either. You can probably still carry that with gym shorts and all that. So yeah, you got to think about in your everyday carrying situations. If you have multiple options for carrying, what are you gonna carry that day? Like, if I'm just going to a gym, going for a bike ride, something like that, I can carry this comfortably, and I don't have to worry about it dropping my shorts or falling out or anything like that. That's what it's made for. If I like have a suit on or something like that, I can actually conceal this a little better than, let's say, my my dagger or my my Walther PPX, or even the Canic TTI, like especially Canic TTI, that's full size. So yeah, so you got to think about those options as far as that weight, concealment, your clothing, and like I said, a threat assessment. Like you know, some I had a firearms instructor, you know, call something like this. I think he said he had a 25 caliber. Called that is just church pistol. So you go into church, you know, low threat assessment, but there are threats. There's threats everywhere. You know, there's been issues at churches before. So, um, you know, you never know. So, but a low threat assessment, this may be something you want to carry. High threat assessment, you might want the truck gun. You know, but yeah, I just appreciate everybody for tuning in, listening to my rant about a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I do not recommend the original 380, the original bodyguard by Smith and Wesson. It's still a good defense weapon, a good get off me gun. But if that's gonna be your primary carry, go for the 2.0. But if you just want a nice little something, because these are probably gonna drop in price now that the 2.0s are out, and you just want another option as far as light concealment, this will be a good pickup for you if you just want something that's still a good gun. But you might say you're $100 or so going this route versus going with the 2.0. But enjoy the footage. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out.